you are active duty and PCSing to San Antonio, but you don't want to live in a large city, maybe you're a small town type of person, this video is for you. Today we're talking about the best cities around San Antonio to live in if you are PCSing to Randolph, Lackland, or Fort Sam Houston. We can't wait to get into it. Let's go.
Let's get it. All right, so if you're PCSing to Randolph Air Force Base, this section is for you. The first small town just outside of San Antonio that we're gonna recommend is going to be Seguin, Texas. Now, the nice thing about Seguin is that it's got a population of about 36,000 people as of 2023. So not too big, not too small, but if you look at a chart for the Census Bureau, you can definitely see that it's growing. Now, what makes Seguin an awesome choice for people who are PCSing here has to do with the affordability of homes. With the median home price of $275,000, it's definitely below the average, even for San Antonio, which is really nice. Now, one thing I do want to say about Seguin that I absolutely love is that there are all types of homes here that are available. You can find new construction, traditional style neighborhoods that you would find within the city, or if you're someone who's looking for a little bit of land, some acreage, maybe you want to build a homestead, farm, whatever you want to do, Seguin has that amount of space and the abundance of land for you to be able to do that. Just make sure you do it before all these companies come in and buy up all that land. And speaking of companies, there are tons of companies who are moving there to Seguin, right? There is a strong job market for manufacturing as well as healthcare. And you can see a lot of the manufacturing plants that have relocated their headquarters to Seguin really over the last couple of years. And you can see these articles that come up all the time through the San Antonio Business Journal or other sources that are local. Now, I mentioned earlier, Seguin is gaining popularity very quick, and it is rising quick, but it's still able to maintain that small town feel that I think a lot of us would appreciate if you don't want to live in a big city. And one of the last important things I do want to hit on in Seguin is the school districts, especially if you have young kids who are going to be attending public schools. Seguin ISD has proven very promising in the future because over the last several years, their ratings have continually increased year over year. So they're constantly trying to improve their education, trying to improve their test scores, all of these things. So you can only expect more improvements out of the next few years from Seguin ISD.
All right, guys, another city that's going to be great for families who are stationed at Randolph Air Force Base, even Fort Sam Houston, is going to be Vernia. Vernia is going to be located east of San Antonio, about 25 minutes from Randolph Air Force Base and 35 minutes from Fort Sam Houston. Vernia is a very small town. We've had a lot of folks call us lately who tell us that they're PCSing to San Antonio. They're used to living in a small community and they want to live in a small community when they move here. Vernia is that times 100. It is very small. The population of Vernia proper is only right around 1,500 people. The surrounding area, a 5 or 10 mile radius around Vernia, I think it only goes up to about 10, 11,000 people. So it is a really small community. Now, the median home cost in Vernia proper is $400K. So there is a lot of new construction going on right there in Vernia proper with some of these newer high-end builders. You are able to find homes on pretty large lots and 4 or 5 bedroom homes right in that $400,000 range. Not a lot of amenities in Vernia. There's not a lot in Seguin, but there really are not a lot in Vernia. So if you're looking for like movie theaters and places to eat, you are gonna have to come into San Antonio for that, but it's very, very close. Now, when it comes to school districts, Vernia does have a pretty decent school district. I would advise you always to check out greatschools.org when you want to know more about test scores and things like that when it comes to all the different school districts. But Vernia is a great choice for you guys if you're PCSing to Randolph or Fort Sam Houston and you definitely want a small town.
One more thing I do want to add that is an interesting fact about Vernia ISD is that they are a 4-day school week. Now, we learned this whenever we went down there to film our original video when we were trying to learn more about the town. We loved it even more, especially when we learned that kids are only going to school 4 days a week. They have that extra day off, although that could probably be a negative for some people depending on how much you love your kids. All right, guys, so now if you're PCSing to Fort Sam Houston, Joint Base San Antonio, this section is for you. Towards the top of that list, one of the small towns that I'm going to recommend that's just outside of San Antonio is Bulverde, Texas. Now, this is going to be located on the far north side of San Antonio, several miles north of Stone Oak. If you know where Kinder Ranch is on the map, it's straight up 281 on that same side of the highway. Super duper nice. And with a population of only 6,900 or so, you can guarantee that you are still going to maintain that small town charm while being close to the big city amenities. Now, depending on what time you leave every day, you're only going to be about 30 to 35 minutes away from Fort Sam Houston, and it's a straight shot down 281, making the commute fairly easy, especially now that they completed all the road construction over there, which makes things a lot more smooth. So more of the reasons why I really like Bulverde as an option is that it's still been able to maintain that hill country charm, but you can tell that there's a growing suburban population. There are lots of new construction home builders up in this area. So if you're looking for something like a Lennar or D.R. Horton, Perry Homes, they're all in this area or just around this area. So you can still reap the benefits of being in the same area while not having to pay $4 million for a house. Now, Bulverde is awesome. It's on the edge of the hill country. It's very scenic. It looks and feels honestly like you're a lot further away from the city, but you're still pretty close. Now, I will say that it doesn't look like Vernia. It doesn't even look like Seguin just because of the different types of terrain, but there are all sorts of available homes that are available. You can find new construction homes, you can find homes with land, something in between. There are lots of options, especially if you're looking around the Bulverde area. Now within Bulverde, you are going to be put inside of Commute ISD, which is one of the highest rated school districts in the area. Super nice. There's tons of outdoor activities, tons of trails, and you're not even that far from Canyon Lake or New Braunfels, so if you decide you want to go up and go tubing, go fishing, it's not that far of a drive. Now, the median home price for this area is about $475K, so it's a little bit elevated compared to Seguin, but right in line if you're looking at Vernia. Really, if you're going between the two, depending on the base, it's just going to come down to really what you want. Do you want flat land to be able to make into your homestead, or do you want your hill country retreat? The choice is yours.
All right, guys, for my Air Force family who's PCSing to Lackland Air Force Base, the best city outside of San Antonio is by far Castroville. I absolutely love Castroville. It is only about 15 to 20 minutes from Lackland Air Force Base and only about 25 minutes from downtown San Antonio. Once you get outside of San Antonio off of Highway 90, which is west of San Antonio, then you are going to be out in Castroville, a pretty small town. Now, Castroville has been growing a lot. We are seeing a lot of new developments, new subdivisions coming into Castroville, but it still maintains a very small town feel. If you are looking for amenities, like we mentioned before, movie theaters, places to eat, there are some restaurants there in Castroville, a great barbecue spot that I would highly recommend, but everything else, you're really gonna have to come a little bit closer into town for those things. There is a grocery store, a Walmart, and things like that, but you are gonna really have that small town feel there in Castroville. Now, when it comes to housing, you are still gonna be able to find houses with some land. There are some subdivisions out there that build beautiful homes on 1 acre, 2 acre lots. You can also find your traditional tract home neighborhoods, and the median home cost out there is gonna be $290,000. Now, that's still pretty good. That is lower than what you're gonna find in San Antonio, and the property taxes are gonna be a little bit lower as well. Castroville is located in Medina County, and the school district out there is Medina ISD, which is a pretty highly rated school district. And again, check out greatschools.org and you can get all the information on their high school, elementary, and middle schools. I do love Castroville. We have been helping a lot of people move out to Castroville as of late, and they seem to love it as well.
And while we're still on the subject of Lackland Air Force Base, if you're looking for a little bit more privacy and just a little bit more space than some of these other places, then you're definitely going to want to consider Hondo. Now, when I think of Hondo, in my opinion, I think very small town, nothing out there. That used to seem like it was light years away from the city. But turns out it's not actually that far from anything, really. Now, while it is a small town, it does have a population of about 8,700 people, which is smaller than Vernia, but right on par with what Bulverde was, just a little bit less. The best part about this is that even though it is small, you're still only about a 35 to 40 minute drive away from Lackland. So while that is a little bit longer than some of these, if you really do want that rural feeling with a little bit more privacy, this is definitely worth it. Now, while this is one of our more quiet, spacious options, it's also one of the more affordable. As of right now, the median home price is about $230,000, which is well below the average here in San Antonio. We don't know what that looks like in the future, but that's what it is as of right now.
Now, we recently helped a family move out to Hondo. They purchased land in a new community. It's going to be a gated community, and each lot is 4 acres. And we could not believe the price of these lots. 4 acres for $150,000. Unbelievable. So, we haven't seen land really that low in quite a while. And being where it's located and where they're located in Hondo, but just a few miles from Bandera, I mean, it really does not get better than that.
It might look far on a map, but I can guarantee you it's not actually that far when you have to drive it. Now, Hondo does have its own school district. It's Hondo Independent School District. So you can expect there to be schools nearby your community. Wherever you decide to live in Hondo, you won't have to drive all the way into the city and add all that time to your commute.
Okay, guys, for those who are PCSing to Lackland, again, if Hondo or Castroville are going to be too rural for you, then we do have a bonus, and that is going to be the great city of Helotes. Everyone loves Helotes. It is a very charming and beautiful area of town located on the west side of San Antonio, just outside of the 1604 loop. There are plenty of amenities there, plenty of neighborhoods and things like that. You're very close to everything. From Lackland, you're going to be about 30 minutes. The great thing about Helotes is that it is a fairly large little city, a lot of amenities in that city. However, as you start to kind of go out a little bit further off of Highway 16 or Bandera Road, you start to get into the country. So if you are looking for a more secluded or remote type of community, there is plenty of that in Helotes, but you're also very close to all your shopping, restaurants, and everything else. We absolutely love Helotes. We spend a lot of time in Helotes, as do many people who live in the area. So that is definitely one for you to check out, guys. The median home cost out in Helotes is over $400,000. So it is going to be a little bit more pricey. You can expect to find acreage out there, but you can also expect to find your neighborhoods with your traditional tract homes as well. So that is definitely one for you guys to check out.
And when it comes to school districts out in Helotes, you are going to be a part of Northside Independent School District. That is one of the higher rated schools here in San Antonio, according to niche.com and greatschools.org. We also did a video on those school districts, so you can check that out. We'll drop the link up here so you can click on it and look at all of them if you wish to review them. But overall, I love Helotes, man. That's one of my favorites.
It's a great one. And guys, if you want to know more in-depth information on each of the cities that we mentioned, we have done videos on each of them. So we're going to put the links down in the description. Please check those out. We believe that they'll be a good resource for you. Thank you guys for checking out the channel. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. We are realtors in San Antonio, so please give us a call for all of your real estate needs. We would love to assist you and your family.
Yeah, if you guys are planning on moving here within the next few weeks, months, days, hours, we don't really care. We would love the opportunity to help you and your family make a home purchase here in San Antonio. So that number popping up on the screen, please reach out. It is us who answers the emails. It is us who answers the phones. So guys, again, thank you so much for watching our content. Catch you in the next one.